to the underlying motivations, what function? What purpose? Why? These appear not to be cared about. Only how is a matter of concern, and even there, such answers as may be presented are irrelevant, or at best non sequiturs. If this is all, there is a great void, a great emptiness.
Along with the term science, the term evolution seems to have gone out on that great atheist memo. Remember, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're saying, no matter what the conversation, make sure to pepper the terms science and evolution into what you're saying. That way, you'll lend an air of credibility to whatever you're saying. At least that seems to be one of the top atheist tactics, is to just pepper the terms science and evolution into whatever they happen to be saying. And what's interesting, particularly with evolution, is how a theory that is supposed to be about biology is now being employed as having something to do with God's existence or lack thereof. I mean, think about that. It's a theory that is supposed to be about biology. And the fact that it is being employed as some kind of argument against God's existence really tells you something. It tells you that the theory is not being put to the job it was supposed to be put towards. It's being employed for something completely different. And what it shows you is that atheists in general take the theory of evolution, which is supposed to be about biology, and they actually turn it into a worldview. So now they see all things through the template, through the theory of evolution. I mean, if there was ever a fallacy, that's a huge fallacy right there. To take a theory that is supposed to be about biology and applying it to everything, everywhere. And I think a perfect example of this is Richard Dawkins, that goes as far as saying that how the universe came about may very well have a Darwinian explanation. So now we're taking biology and applying it to cosmogony. And it's incredible. It's incredible to take a theory that's supposed to be about biology and turn it into a world view, so that now you feel like you have good arguments against God's existence by appealing to changes occurring to bioorganisms. It's amazing. I think actually it's a sign of desperation. But it's amazing when you think in terms of worldview, the kind of things that people will turn into their worldview. Not to mention, what on earth does evolution proper have to do with God's existence anyway? I mean, let's make this note for one. If you are ever accused of misrepresenting evolution, you should ask for where exactly can you go and read the theory of evolution, because there's really no such thing as the theory of evolution. There's various theories constantly competing to be the one that will be crowned as the one that is actually the one that accurately represents reality, the reality of the matter, the reality of biology. But in the meantime, of course, there's also that issue of some people saying, oh yeah, you're an evolutionist? Well, explain how life came to be. And of course the evolutionist saying, well, that's not part of evolution. Evolution only deals with changes occurring to bioorganisms. And if you grant that, that is a great way to get off of claiming that evolution has anything to say about God's existence. Because what militant evolutionists want to say is that evolution shows that we don't need God. So God is superfluous. But we don't need God for what exactly? For what? Right? I mean, they're not talking about the origins of life, are they? If they are, then you can tackle that issue. But we don't need God for what? To have bioorganisms change? Well, no one's really claiming that we need God to have those changes occur. As a theist would likely tell you that God's creation means that the bioorganism, at least the originally created kind, consists of so much information that it's able to undergo these changes within parameters. And the typical argument would be that species don't change into other species, but that there's changes within the kind. So that, for instance, some kind of canine wolf-like creature can give rise to different types of dogs, but that a dog does not turn into a non-dog, or a canine does not turn into a non-canine. So what exactly about evolution has anything to do with God whatsoever? Except that atheists have taken it and turned it into a world view, so that it's no longer relevant, that it really has nothing to do with God's existence. Because it turns into a worldview, and all of a sudden it does. And this is why sometimes if you get into these conversations about evolution, you get such emotive, anger-filled reactions. Because, I mean, if you're discussing biology and two people have different opinions about something, that's one issue, right? I mean, it's biology. But when you deal with evolution, all of a sudden what you realize is, oh, we're not having a discussion about biology now. We're having a discussion about worldviews. So the atheist gets really, really angry with me, not because I have a differing view about biology, but because we have different worldviews, and they're desperate to protect theirs and undermine mine. So that's the advantage that evolution has. Not that it's a theory about biology, but that it is a worldview. And that's just the point, which is biology is a science, but evolution is a philosophy. And so the philosophy can become a worldview. So that what happens is that when evolution is put forth as a theory, then it becomes a template. And it is a template through which you now interpret biology. And that's really its strength. It's put forth as a theory. So therefore now you're looking through its lens, and you interpret everything you see through it. And that is how it becomes a worldview. So it's the worldview of evolution. That's what we're really dealing with. We're not merely having arguments about biology anymore. We're having arguments about worldviews, because that is the sort of tool that evolution has become. And that is how it is being employed. As an entire worldview complete with issues pertaining to theology and not merely organisms anymore. It's not about biology anymore. It's about theology. Imagine that. It's absolutely incredible.